let me ask you about Don Rickles, close friend.
Yeah.
Again, I think he's such a classic, such a staple.
And young people, and how old are you?
I'm 32.
And so Don Rickles is because of David Letterman putting him on, Jimmy Kimmel paying homage to him, and Jimmy is boy, one of the loves.
I love
I'm
Jimmy.
a Jimmy Kimmel fan.
Jimmy is a friend and one of the sweetest people that exists.
Yeah,
and,
I love Jimmy.
I love him.
And he is so compassionate. I'm going to vivisect off of the Rickles for a quarter of a second. I do a benefit every year for the Scleroderma Research Foundation, which is a disease that hits mostly women. I lost a sister to the disease, and Jimmy's done the auction several times for us.
Oh wow, that's
and
great.
He is a guy that you email, and let me give his email on the air here.
Yeah, just say that, and we'll all test your theory.
He is a guy that you can see what happened with his son Billy and how he cares, and he's just a lovely, lovely man. Right. And he loved Don equally.
I saw him cracking up.
We were all losing it. And Don, I became very close with Don through Stamos. John Stamos introduced me to him, but I had directed Don in a movie called Dirty Work, Norm Macdonald and Artie
Big
Lang
fan.
movie.
Love that movie.
But I'm
one of the only ones.
Yeah,
I get where you're going. No, me and my friends, when we were younger,
call MGM.
We used to love that. Well, now I think it gets the respect that it deserves.
It does. It
needed to marinate a little bit.
It's become it was made for 15-year-old boys, and now the boys are 35.
I was the perfect demographic then, and I still
You're the
love
guy.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's talk. Norm and I are talking. Because all I'm saying is Norm and I are talking. But anyway,
we're talking.
I love Norm.
What's in store?
Norm's one of the funniest people alive. By the way.
Norm, I'm a
It's
huge
so
fan.
true.
Back to Don Rickles. So Don Rickles is this guy who we won't see again, who was able to take what came out of the 40s and 50s of racism and really doing things you can't do and objectifying people but it wasn't done
It was love.
It was all
I
love.
still
It was
don't-
unbelievable love.
I don't understand how he did it still to this day.
It was because the love and the energy was so strong and you wanted to be insulted by him. He turned himself. He was such an icon. And he worked, by the way, here's the other key, and you'll find this out the longer you do this thing or whatever you guys parlay into. Parlay. I say that like every day. Of course I say it.
Sure.
Who doesn't say parlay?
Yeah, it's part of aging.
I'm going to parlay back into the story. but he just wanted to, he came out of he did 3 shows in Vegas starting at 2 a.m. So he was in the trenches. I was in the trenches in my own way. I was working in terrible places, just like everybody tonight. Is out in this town. We're in Los Angeles, and a lot of open mics and a lot of places trying to get time to become good, to learn. And then people that revere comedy want to be good, and that's like people that I have the most respect for that are going through it right now. And it doesn't end. You're always auditioning for something, But Don, it's definable when you watch on YouTube, watched a Letterman with Denzel Washington on it. So, and Don kept saying to me, I can't believe he stayed for all my segments. So it's Denzel for 3 segments, I believe. And then Don comes on, but Denzel wanted to stay for every segment.
That's awesome.
And then Don would turn to Denzel and say, could you get my car? Or things like that. And Denzel was hitting the floor because he knew that it's the last thing on Don's mind.
Yeah.
What it was saying, isn't this racism just a big bunch of bullshit?
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't. It had no hatred or animosity. It was literally the opposite. Because if you're a comedian and you're working in clubs and in Vegas, you're with very few white people, and that's where I want to be. I want to be with very few white people.
Well,
that's the name of my
you're
book.
In the Lion's Den here. Lots of white people here
It
today.
is very white here. That's one thing I noticed about the H Street podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Very white.
We're about to get articles. We have not had a. Oh my God.
Yeah,
we're in big trouble.
You guys got to do some stuff here. You're going to need to fire about 3 people.
Let's get back to the ship.
Do you want me to pick them
Let's
out?
change the subject really fast. Because Don Rickles is the kind of guy when you see him, he's always on. He is on on.
Yeah.
You were friends with the guy, so what was he like when he wasn't on? Or was he always
most
on?
comedians that I've known and know, they can be funny. We like to screw around with each other and just see who's going to say something that's going to be crazy or and it's sparring, you know. But that wasn't Don. He would get pretty serious. You'd have dinner with him.
Really?
He'd have a cocktail, and you'd sit there, and he would get very serious. I mean, he lost his son at 43 years old. His son passed away, and just a few years ago, his daughter's a really good comedian, Mindy Rickles, and she looks like him, which is. And I have 3 daughters, and my middle one looks like me, and I'm like, well, wait a second, but she's really pretty. So does that mean am I attractive, or am
You're
I
beautiful. I'd fuck the
I'm
shit out of
just
you.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Throw 'em, dude. Shit particles.
Well,
I'll look up your dick.
If you wanted to, see, I'm not going to use that crass language, but if you put your
Listen to you. How the times have changed.
Well, no,
Bob Saget. I will not
it's
use
so
that crass
easy
language.
to say I will fuck the shit out of you. That's just easy.
Well, it's still funny.
It's also the basis of what I would do maybe 20 years ago. But I never use the word fuck as a verb. That's not true either. But anyway, but you fuck the shit out of somebody. I
That's
mean, how
funny.
attractive is that? That's not. You don't want to break that down.
Well, no, yeah.
You're
you
gonna
don't
make a mess.
You don't,
Your toothbrush is ruined.
I will fuck you tenderly, and the shit will not be expelled from your body. And if a little does seep out a little bit, I'll clean it up.
Let me explain something to you right now. You just cockblocked yourself from having a baby for 2 months.
Yeah,
That alone.
Hey, if I can get into your pants,
She's-
it'll be worth it.
If I was her, I would duct tape my underwear on tonight. I would not allow you near me.